Brandon Benefield, Gerard Bonner, and Diana Michelle.
What's going on, everybody? It's that time of the week. It's Friday. You know what that means? It's time for the SHW podcast. This is our wrestling. I'm B-Double Brandon Benefield. Of course, as always, joined by the great GB Gerard Bonner and the beautiful Diana Michelle. We are V3, and we are back, and we're still a couple weeks out, but we're getting close to SHW 74. The card has been announced earlier this week. You've seen some video promos dropped from some backstage interviews, all kinds of good stuff. So we're going to start looking at this card and kind of do a little preview here tonight for SHW 74. I can't believe we're at 74. It keeps going by so fast with all, we hit 70 not that long ago. I remember when we hit 50 and we thought that was just like an amazing number to hit. And now here we are at 74. But before we get into it, guys, it's been a long week. I'm already tired. I'm ready for some wrestling. I'm ready to talk some wrestling with V3 here. So how you guys holding up? How you doing? How your week's been?
It has been a long week, a hot week at that. So I'm looking forward to some. I know I had last weekend off, and I'm not going to complain. But I'm so tired from it. I don't like not having somewhere to go. So
it does feel weird, right?
It does. It was odd. I mean, I had all these plans. I was going to do this around the house. Ask me if I did. I didn't. I think I did one load of laundry. And I have so much, but whatever.
Wow.
Yes. I need somewhere to go. I need to be on the go. So, yeah. How about y'all? Because
no, it's been a full week again. It's been a warm week for sure. I got to shout out quickly SHW alumnus Sean Legacy, who had a huge match on NXT this week. And it's crazy because he's still very much a WWE ID guy. And those guys don't end up on NXT. At best, they end up on Evolve, which is still very good. But he's impressed a lot of people. And as I tell you guys all the time, it's why you want to watch what's happening here at Southern Honor, because the people who come through these doors, they end up in some amazing places. They end up on Evolve and NXT and SmackDown and Raw and AEW Dynamite and Collision and all the places you like to watch nationally. They come here first. So make sure you're tuned in. And of course, we've got a big show coming up in a couple of weeks. And you never know who from that show in time could end up in some of these aforementioned places.
Absolutely. By the way, you were talking about shout outs. Special shout out. You got a graduate in the family there, GB. I saw earlier this week.
Yes. Congrats to Jax, who graduated from kindergarten, and today's his birthday. So happy birthday, Jax.
Man.
6 years old. This is just crazy.
Unreal.
Yeah.
It's going by too fast, GB.
It's going by very fast, very fast.
We're going to have to dedicate a whole show.
Oh, boy.
Special guest host.
Are you sure you want to do that?
I do. I want to know everything that he wants to tell, because he's got it. He's got so much going on.
He would fill up an hour.
I know he would.
What these fans don't know is that sometimes we have the show before the show, and he can go. He can go. He's got the gift.
I've never seen him with nothing to say.
He's got the gift of gab, and it comes by honestly. Let's be honest. Boy is smart. I'm telling you, he
is.
He can go.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Diana, you might be onto something. Maybe we'll do that one day. GB's no.
He would love that. I'm like, oh Lord, he would love that though.
He can bring off his show and tell dinosaurs.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we can talk Sonic.
Please don't get him on that. Good
the whole
Lord.
the whole show is just about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Because he thinks that's his name. So
there you go.
He's been telling people his name is Sonic.
That'd be his wrestling name, GB.
Now that would work.
There you go.
That would work.
He's fast, man.
He's very fast.
All right. Well, like we mentioned, big show coming up, couple weeks. SHW 74. Still can't get used to being in the 70s already. Like, it's just crazy to me. But bunch of big matches coming off of last month's show, SHW 73. Of course, if you missed the recap of that, go back and check it out. We talked about it last week. But we saw a bunch of backstage interviews that dropped over last week and this week with some backstage interviews by our very own Cheyenne Michaels, who does such
Shout
a
out to
great job.
Cheyenne, doing a great job. Yes,
Yeah,
she is doing a great job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, one that I want to talk about off the bat was just something that's been irritating a lot of us over the last couple of weeks in general. And that's, of course, those scumbags, Matt Griffin and Gunnar Miller, kidnapping Juju, Dylan's famous little puppy dog. And I still don't know the whereabouts. I've been seeing tweets from Griffin and Gunnar on Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call it, talking about how Juju's never been treated better. We're treating her like, on all this. And I'm like, give me a break. Like, have we called the cops yet? Does anybody know, like, where is the location? Where are they keeping this dog? But, hashtag save Juju. If anybody has any information, leave it in the comments. Send us a message. We got to figure this out, hopefully before the next show. But what we did find out was that Sal Rinauro talked to Cheyenne backstage after the last show. And while things didn't quite go Sonny and Sal's way, by a long shot, Sal is still the decision maker here in Southern Honor Wrestling. So he made the decision, after, I guess, conferring with Jake the Snake, that it will be a tag team match. Sonny and Sal, Happy Madness, reuniting here to take on Matt Griffin and Gunnar Miller. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If Gunnar Miller and Matt Griffin win this match, and here's where I get a little uneasy, and we all get a little uneasy because get a load of this. If they win this match, they get full control of the company. I'm not sure I'm agreeing with Sal's thinking here. Usually him as a decision maker, I'm like, all right, that's cool, but I don't know about this decision. On the flip side, if Sal and Sonny win the match, then Sonny gets to pick any singles match stipulation that he wants to face Gunnar Miller, which sounds great. Could be a cage match, no DQ match, any sort of no holds barred, whatever you want to have. However, that's if Sonny and Sal win this match. How are we feeling about this going into SHW74? I mean, so much on the line in this matchup. We went through this with Dishonor, with Brooklyn, taking over at one point for a little while. And, I don't know, guys. How are we feeling about it?
I have a couple of ideas for stipulation.
So you guys, I know we just started and we're just starting to get into this preview show. Our producers are telling me though that we have somebody in the waiting room. I'm not sure here.
Isn't this like a okay?
We're gonna find out here.
This
Hang
happens often, right?
Wait,
It's been a minute, but
too often. I don't understand.
we'll see. Somebody's
get in
connecting
here?
in here.
I didn't know random people were allowed to just hop on here.
Oh, what do you mean, random people?
Oh, it's the
boy.
Big Cannoli.
Yeah,
Wow.
you're right. It's the Big Cannoli.
What's
Random
up?
Wow.
people. I should feel offended for that. Random people.
We weren't sure who was
I didn't
chiming
know.
in here.
We didn't
Yeah.
know who it was.
Listen, that's the one thing you can always expect with Rosario Grillo is expect the unexpected. You never know where I'm going to pop up.
Well,
I'll keep that in
fair.
mind.
That's fair.
As you can hear, there's Rosario Grillo, the Big Cannoli, Calabria's favorite son there, joining us. He looks like he's on the road. Are you in, where are you in, New Mexico? It looks
Listen. What are you, a cop at all these questions, first and foremost?
Sorry.
We may or may not be in the state of Mexico that is new. We can't be giving out our location like that. But if I
Okay.
was, I may be out there. I may be out here enjoying the nice weather.
Okay. Well, we were just starting to preview SHW74. As you know, we got a big card coming up. I know you've got some would call it a big match. I think you were laughing at it when you found out you had this match coming up. You'll be facing. First of all, your thoughts from SHW73 when you had the situation that happened with Aaron Dallas's brother Ethan sitting in the front row.
I am so happy I actually have a moment to address this because at first I was a little hot with you guys. I was a little hot because it seemed like I didn't have anyone defending me, but I did listen to the pod after the show, after you had time to review the footage, and I think we can all agree I never attacked anyone. I was self-defending myself against a vicious attack from the fan. You guys know best. That stuff happens in Georgia all the time. You know, look at Joe Black. People try to go after him. I didn't know what I was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he put his hands on me, and I had to do the thing that I was taught to do by my coaches, and that's defend myself. Is it unfortunate that happened to be his brother? Maybe. But, you know, sometimes you got to deal with the consequences of your actions.
Did you know it was his brother?
I didn't until he said, that's my brother. And again, I won't fault the kid because if anything I respect more is that having family's back. But you put your hands on him. That doesn't fly, Worm.
I'm a witness. I was there. I was right in front of you guys when it happened. That's exactly how it went down.
See, I knew you would have my back. Thank you. You always give me such a beautiful introduction every time I'm there. I knew you would have my back.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say this. I was impressed with you coming through with your first official singles victory back at SHW73. What did that mean to you as someone who at one point was on the very first pre-show in SHW history to now be in this, and that was in a tag team scenario, now to be in the space where you finally in your first one-on-one match get a victory? What did that mean to you?
Honestly, it was pretty, you know, it was long overdue. Long overdue. We're not going to celebrate just the first one. Like I said, we're going to keep stacking and stacking like it's a deli sandwich. We got a lot more to do. But you can't get the second one unless you get the first one. So it was pretty nice to finally just to check that off. And we all know Southern Honor is one of, if not the premier company in Georgia and one of the best in independent wrestling. So to be able to get a win there is pretty important for the old Cannoli. And now we just got to keep them going. We got to keep them going. We're going into Rumblejack season. Maybe I get my shot back at the Jake the Snake Legacy title. You know, there's a lot of ways we can go, but the one way we are going is up.
I like it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask him about the upcoming match, but I know you had something else, so let's get to that first.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask about Aaron Dallas because Aaron Dallas has certainly become one of the most popular figures in all of Southern Honor. But you managed to come in and kind of, you know, take the breath from the room by defeating Aaron Dallas, who many will say Aaron Dallas kind of stopped you back at the gauntlet match when you were battling for the #1 contendership for the Jake the Snake Legacy Championship. Now you're going to be battling his brother. What's going on with you and the Dallas family?
Again, I didn't start any of this. A few shows ago, you had mentioned he was the one who took me out of the gauntlet because why? Anyone? I turned my back to go put my flag in the corner and he attacked me. He gave me a spine buster before I even had my bearings. I didn't even finish saying my prayers, nothing. He spine busted me through that mat before I had any idea what was happening. And by the time that ref hit 3, I came to. So he attacked me, and all I did was repay him the favor at the end. That's fine. I thought we were clean. He wanted to have a match. Well, we have a match. Now listen, we all know I may not be doing things by the books, but like you said, sometimes you got to do everything you can to get that win. It's been how long that I've been in Southern Honor? I've had a few opportunities, and I hadn't won any of them. Sometimes win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
That's all I'm gonna say. Sometimes you gotta cross a couple T's, illegally dot a few I's. I don't know.
I mean, it's wrestling, right?
Things happen. You know, that is actually my bad leg. So what happened? I think I had a twitch. I had like a spasm in my ankle. So that's how so I apologize to Aaron for that. It must have been surgery or something. That's why that foot kind of just went up like that.
It makes sense. I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie Rookie of the Year. The little kid that could throw because he had the surgery and it made his arm snap like that.
Maybe I should try out for the Italian soccer league team.
Perhaps. I don't know.
Perhaps.
Spitballing here.
Anyway. That was a great movie.
Anyways. I'm glad you guys understood the reference. Sometimes I say things I'm like, oh, that was a long time ago.
Absolutely.
Hey, all right, Grillo, we love having you on here. It's kind of, like I said, a kind of a pleasant surprise here with you jumping in. But what we were doing, we were previewing the card for SHW74. I know you probably have some words for Ethan Dallas, Aaron's brother, who you have a match coming up against. Maybe we save that for the end. But while you're with us, if you want to kind of run through this card with us while we have you here, is that cool?
Let's go. What kind of Gavons we got on the card for the next show?
Well, right before you jumped in, we were just talking about this crazy tag team match that Sal Renaro came up with. It's going to be Sonny and Sal, Happy Madness reuniting to take on Matt Griffin and Gunnar Miller, basically for control of the company. If Gunnar and Matt Griffin win, full control of SHW. If Sonny and Sal win, Sonny gets to pick any stipulation he wants for a singles match against Gunnar, and ideally get Juju back as well in the process, because we're still wondering where the whereabouts of Juju is after Griffin and Gunnar kidnapped that poor dog at the last show. So, GB, I know we were getting to you and Diana on that one. If you guys want to kind of give us your thoughts, and then Grillo, you can kind of jump in as well.
Well, I was just gonna say I know a few stipulations that we could throw Sonny's way if they win. That'd be awesome. But I mean, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, because anything can happen in one of these crazy matches, especially when you have the freaking Penguin of Georgia and the whatever GM by his side, and they're just
Kingpin,
dirty, dastardly.
Kingpin. There's a penguin.
No, it's the Penguin.
Penguin. I thought, okay.
Forever the Penguin. Come on.
By the way,
I don't know what to expect.
You do like to put stuff out into the universe, so I am curious what your stipulations are. Like, maybe
you want me to? Well, I mean, there's
a little idea.
If he has a choice of doing anything he wants, I mean, you could do blindfolds. You can do all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
I mean, set him up, put him on a stake, beat the crap out of him with a stick. I don't know, anything.
I've never even heard of that stipulation.
A penguin on a pinata match? What are we talking about here?
No, Cannoli on a pole?
That would be the Gunnar or Sonny match, right? I'm just saying, if you want to ensure victory, might as well set it up so you can not lose.
We had Judy Bagwell in a pole match one time, right? So
they did.
We could put the penguin, our Kingpin, on the pole match.
They did. Wow.
That they definitely did.
I would love to put him on. Just hang him up and just beat him with a stick. Just see what pops out.
CGB, I had to get her to tell us something because I knew she was going to have some gold there.
Heck yeah. We put candy in his pockets and let the kids beat him up.
Oh, God.
Beat him till the candy comes out. That's awesome. That's a great idea.
Now, here's the thing. We're laughing. We're having fun here. GB, though, I mean, the stipulation for this tag match is very serious. I mean,
it's extremely serious. Yeah. And I am wondering what Sal was thinking about when he did this, primarily because at SHW73, they tried to stack the deck.
Yeah.
And it seemed like every, I was dotted and T was crossed, and somehow they missed something.
Talk about a backfire.
It backfired really, really bad. And, in the process, we get a Matt Griffin win and a Juju kidnapping. My concern now is, as the great De La Soul said, stakes is high. And because these stakes are this high, you cannot afford to slip on a banana peel. We've not seen Sal in a ring in almost a year. And the last time Sal was in the ring, it didn't go very well. Yeah. I have a lot of questions. Like, for one, Sal and Sonny are literally fighting for the future of this company. If Happy Madness loses, is Sal no longer the decision maker?
Ooh.
I would say no. I would say that they
Jake
would let
the Snake
Gunnar
no
decide.
longer the matchmaker.
Yeah.
I mean, what happens to all of us? I mean, this is very serious. And I hope that Happy Madness has a foolproof plan, because the last plan, which seemed foolproof, missed something. And we can't afford to let anything slip through here, because if we do, it could be extremely dark days for a guy like Matt Griffin, who, I mean, has salivated over the concept of controlling Southern Honor. I mean, will Southern Honor even still exist? Will he just merge it with Action?
Ew.
Like, what? I mean, these are things that people need to think about. Yeah. There's no way that he's going to want to control both when Action is his baby. I don't know. This makes me very nervous.
Grillo, as somebody on the roster, I mean, where's your head in all of this craziness?
Now, it's tough because, like you said, I've been there a few times. So, to me, in new management, I don't know. Matt Griffin, though, listen, you do some dastardly things in life. We already discussed that. However, you touched another man's dog. A dog who's been gone for a long, long time.
Facts.
That is
Dirty.
that's communicado number one. You can't do that from where I'm from. You touch another man's pet, you might as well be John Wick because he's gonna come after you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think, I hope maybe Happy Madness has a plan up their sleeve. But again, Matt Griffin, he's out for power. And when you're out for power, nothing's going to stop you.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Very true. Very true. Well, another thing coming off of the last show, Hunter James, we saw his background or backstage interview after losing his Rumblejack qualifier. He was none too pleased. I mean, I think a lot of people were shocked by this. He had Byron Young coming in, who had debuted the month before in a very short tag team contest, coming out and getting a kind of a surprise victory here and punching his ticket into the Rumblejack. But you saw in that backstage interview with Cheyenne Michaels, Hunter kind of realized, well, I've still got a couple of months before August, before the Rumblejack actually gets here. And you could see the wheels spinning. Like, how is he going to figure out how to get into this matchup? Well, now we see this matchup, a rematch with Byron Young, where he's putting up $2,000. He's trying to get that Rumblejack spot from Byron Young. And so they're going to run this match back. And I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. If I'm Byron Young, I don't know if I would have accepted the match. I would have just said, you know what? I've already got my my spot here. I'm just going to keep it. But
So
I don't know.
$2,000 or the spot, right? That what you said?
It appears, and I'm just going off of what I've seen here on the graphic that was announced this week, that it looks like is he offering up $2,000 like to buy the spot if he can win, if he can beat Byron Young. I'm not sure.
Hey, $2,000, I'll sell him whatever he wants.
I was going to say I might jump in the ring for $2,000. We'll see. I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting to say the least. I'm not quite sure all the details here on this one, but it'll be good to see Byron Young back in the building. That's 3 months in a row. That's awesome for him.
Yeah.
But Hunter James, always with the tricks up his sleeve. You never know what he's going to come up with, trying to get himself into this Rumblejack. So
it sounds like a Tristan thing. It sounds like a Tristan thing to me.
It could be. It could be the guiding light got in the ear of Jake the Snake and throwing some money around. Who knows?
Where is he anyway? I mean, not that I miss him, but where is he?
Which Tristan or Jake the Snake?
Pop up at any time. No, Tristan.
That's a great question.
Oh, speaking of Jake the Snake, go ahead, GB. About last week, we saw.
No, we found out that Jake the Snake just recovered from, or just was released from surgery. So our thoughts and prayers are certainly with our matchmaker. We want him to get well soon, for sure. Absolutely. And which again is another important reason why Sal has been doing such a great job on behalf of Jake the Snake. And so hopefully Jake wasn't asked these kinds of questions prior to surgery or during recovery. Though I can imagine some people trying to pick that time to reach out to him since they know, he's not of able and sound mind and body.
Yeah, as if things weren't stressful enough. Exactly.
Right.
Well, it looked like Grillo, we might have lost connection there. He may rejoin us. As you could tell, he was on the road, it looked like. So, but let's move on down this card. Another match we have coming up. We have a rematch. Grayson Pierce will be taking on Jay Lucas, the superstar. And these guys put on a great matchup the first time they went against each other. And then also in a triple threat match when Owen Knight was involved as well. So always excited to see these two in the ring together. Of course, the big story here is Grayson Pierce coming off of what happened at the last show where he was in Lev's corner for Lev's JTS Legacy title match and then end up not only, basically costing him the match, but then turning on Lev after the fact. And you got to wonder, where is Lev? Will Lev be in the house? Will he be in the action building on June 6th? And where will Grayson Pierce's head be? Will he have his head on a swivel? Will he be focused on his opponent? And we'll find out. But as we do that, let's see if we can get Grillo back in here real quick as we talk about that match. There he is.
There's New Mexican heat out here. Got my phone cooking like it's in a microwave.
Well, we were hoping you'd be able to jump back on with us, but we were just bringing up the next match here. It's a singles match between Grayson Pierce and Jay Lucas. GB, Diana, either of you Your thoughts on this one?
I would like to see what Jay Lucas's thoughts about all this with Grayson Pierce is. Honestly, Grayson is a little unhinged right now. He's kind of just, it's like he's just swinging in the shadows, but he's going to hit whatever he connects with, right? Um, he's dangerous.
Yeah,
we've seen that. We've seen how dangerous he is, and when he's in the ring and he's in a match, he is full force. Like, he's not slowing down. He's going at it, and it's like everything is just, intense. I don't know what his focus is, and this is my question for everybody. What is your focus? But what is his end game? What does he want out of all this? I mean, he's obviously feeling disrespected by Lev because Lev didn't give him the time of day, but he didn't need him.
yeah.
But with Jay Lucas, I think he needs to really be grounded in this match so that he's not blindsided, or maybe he needs to have his head on a swivel too, because you never know what happens. People just surprise you and be teamed up behind your back, and you don't have a clue. You don't know. But I don't have a preference on either one of these guys, but I do think it's going to be an intense match, very intense.
Yeah, I think this will be intense, and I think this could be one of the most dangerous times to try to battle Grayson Pierce, because Grayson Pierce has enacted his plan, which was to turn on Lev, and we discovered finally that that was the plan once he did it. And so now, how dangerous is he going into a match against Jay Lucas, particularly when Jay Lucas pinned him the last time they were together? So I'm looking forward to this one. I think this could be a dangerous time for Jay Lucas, but it actually could be equally dangerous there for Grayson Pierce as well if he is not focused on the task at hand.
Right.
Yeah, the focus, you gotta, when you get your emotions to come out in the ring, sometimes that helps you, but more often than not, you trip over your own 2 feet. You're trying to come back out of a hole you dug yourself in, and sometimes fighting with emotions isn't the way to get it done. And if he does that against Jay, he might not come out the way he wants to come out. So if he can come in with a little bit of a clear head and more of a plan, I'd say Jay might be in trouble, but he's got to look for that opportunity. Just the second Grayson slips up, unless his feelings get in the way, and let his emotions get in the way, he's got to be there to capitalize.
Absolutely. And again, SHW74, June 6th. It'll be a couple of Fridays from now, and tickets will go on sale at the door starting at 5 p.m., starting at $15. Kids 10 and under are free. Of course, doors open at 7, bell time at 8. We hope to see you all there. But we also have a couple of huge championship matches, one of which I don't even want to talk about, so I'll let you guys talk about. But before, we'll save that one for last, because I just don't even want to think about it right now. Let's talk about the very exciting one that everybody's looking forward to, and that is CT Keys getting a shot at Joe Black for the Southern Honor Championship. I mean, we knew this was inevitable. It was going to happen eventually, and here it is. On top of that, we also saw a video sent in from Alex Kane directed at CT Keys at SHW73. That has since been posted on the socials. So if you haven't seen it, you can see what Alex Kane had to say directed at CT Keys. So I feel like those two are on a collision course. But when they meet, will CT have the title? Will he be able to get it from Joe Black? Will Joe Black be able to retain against a guy like Cutthroat? This one's going to be, we talked about intense in that other matchup. This one's going to be intense, to say the least. So, Diana, this is one that you kind of put out in the universe several months back, and now at least part of it's happening. You were wanting like a triple threat at one point.
Yeah.
At least part of this is happening, and it's CT versus Joe Black. And I don't think a lot of people in Southern Honor thought we'd ever see this matchup, especially for the Southern Honor Championship on the line. So, you guys, how are we feeling about this?
Look, my heart is racing right now thinking about this match. I mean, I'm so excited about this match. I feel like I'm, the Scream Machine at Six Flags. I'm going up the big hill, and I'm getting, excited, and I'm getting the anticipation, and the stomach's in my throat, and I'm just going to go down that hill because we're going to hit that triple threat. I promise you we will. We're going to hit that triple threat. But this match is right at the peak. Oh, my God. I can't even hardly talk. I'm shaking. I'm excited about this match. This is going to be one of the best ever defenses for Joe Black. And, oh, my God, him and CT just in the ring. Can I just get in there right now? Please let me announce this. Please don't start this match until I can do these announcements. Please. I want to do this so bad. So bad. This is like a dream match for me. I'm telling you. I've been looking forward to this ever since CT split off from the end game. And I'm excited. I can't even say it. I'm excited. I want this to happen now. Now.
Okay, all right. You
I
got
was
2
waiting
weeks.
for one more now.
I
Yeah,
am
this-
shaking right now. My heart is pounding thinking about this match. I love the idea of it. I want it. Give it to me.
GB, jump in there.
Sheesh. You're going to get it in a couple weeks. Just hold on. I promise.
I want it so bad.
This is going to be a great match. This is something special, and I think it's going to be unique for CT Keys, who will be getting a title shot without the end game. What can he do on his own? Will he be able to prove that he is better on his own than to have the end game with him? But I said this last week, and I maintain it, and I know it's very hard to acknowledge history when it's happening. But I think it's safe to say we're in the greatest title run in the history of the SHW championship. With what Joe Black is putting together right now, the defenses that he's making, the matches that he's having. I mean, all of these matches are top tier 5-star matches. And it's not against just one type of opponent. I mean, whether it's Lev or, what we saw at the last show with Austin Towers, big or small, line them up. They are having epic matches against our Southern Honor champion. Again, I'm reminded of Jackson Drake, who really kind of kicked this whole thing off in terms of these title defenses for the champ. And so Joe Black, we always knew this Joe Black existed. He's healthy. His mind is right. This is the man you want as your champion. And when your champion is top tier, it raises the entire tenor of our company. So what this means is CT Keys is going to have to come strong. Though when has he ever come weak, right?
When
Like
has
he's always been throwing people around. We made the argument, and we talked about this before, that CT Keys could be the Jake the Snake Legacy champion if there wasn't interference from the end game. That will no longer be a problem. So, will Joe Black be able to handle CT Keys Unleashed for the Southern Honor Championship? We find out in 2 weeks.
Are we getting the Killer Weight again? Are we getting the Dread Wolf? We're getting the Black Cloud?
Well, here's the thing. Whichever version we've gotten in this championship run has been epic.
Yeah.
Every version. It's
And Grillo, somebody from the locker room, like you see the champion representing this company and you see this title run like GB's talking about. I mean, what's that? What are the guys talking about in the back when they see a champion like that?
I mean, first and foremost, these two guys talk about unstoppable force and a movable object. I would hate to owe those guys on a couple bets. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But when you have a champion who's out there defending every show, and not only just defending, having some of, if not the best matches on the show, it takes everyone else up another level.
Yes.
Because if you ain't matching the champion, you ain't getting that shot for his championship.
That's right.
So if you don't come with 200% of what he's given, you ain't getting anywhere close to that. And that just keeps everybody on their toes. Keeps the people who aren't ready right out of the spotlight, and it keeps the people who are in the picture.
What a measuring stick, right?
Yeah.
What a measuring stick.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
The two of them, whoever wins the match, but either of those guys are the two people you would want to be the face of your company and the measuring stick.
Absolutely. But I still want that triple threat.
There it is.
I couldn't tell. I wasn't sure if you wanted to.
Want it.
Right.
So, as if the Southern Honor Championship itself wasn't one of the most sought after titles in the Southeast or in independent wrestling in general. A couple of years ago, we had the presentation of the Jake the Snake Legacy Championship and bringing that title to the forefront. And we've had some great champions over the last couple of years, one of which being the current champion, Kyle Matthews. And you guys all saw what happened at the end of the last show, or at the end of his match at the last show. I said it last week. I don't even want to talk about the guy, so I'm going to leave it to the three of you to talk about this Jake the Snake Legacy Championship match. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. I love Kyle Matthews. Kyle, you're the man. Other than that, I have nothing to say about this match. You guys, the floor is yours.
Bryce freaking Cannon. Good God. Well, he's back. I can smell it in the air. He's back.
Tell me how you really feel.
Right.
Well, do you really want to do that?
Oh boy. Don't
Maybe
tempt
I
her.
don't.
We
Don't
can
tempt
go
her with a
on
good
for
time.
on and on for that. And Brandon would actually jump in on that part. He wouldn't be silent.
I might open my mouth on that one and join in. Yeah. But anyways.
Maybe that's what you should do. Just tell us how you really feel, Brandon. Okay. He's back. He's obviously healthy. And he's on a mission, not just at Southern Honor, but all over Georgia. And God, as much as I hate to say it, he's a problem. Bryce Cannon is a problem. And I vowed I would never call him Brat Daddy unless he was a champion. God help us all that I'd ever have to do that. Kyle's my man now. That's my champion. But Bryce is a problem, and he's got a lot of momentum behind him, especially since he's made his return. And like I said, all over Georgia, we see it. We're around. We know what's going on. And Jesus, if it happens, I don't know what to think. But I don't have a thought really that I just really want to share. Just like I'm dreading. I got a bad taste in my mouth. It's like acid.
Acid reflux.
Yeah, I just want to suggest you guys take some medicine for that because I'm going to tell you, when Bryce Cannon got injured, he was on his way to one of the biggest years of his career, whether people like it or not. And so I'm the one who tries to kind of call it right down the middle here, in spite of all of the things that have happened among this group. And the reality of it is, I'll go so far as to say that Bryce Cannon is kind of the breakout star of Exotic Youth. And there was a point where we were asking the question, is he going to break away? Because he was becoming that much of a star. The injury happened. It kept him out for close to a year. During that time, and Grillo, you understand this, when you're out on injury, it changes you because you start thinking about the time that's been lost. And all you ask is what could have been, what would have been. You see other people take spots that you thought you would have had. You start thinking to yourself, man, if I had been in the game right now, this would be happening. Instead, I'm sitting on the sidelines, and it's that fear of missing out, literal FOMO. So when you get your opportunity to come back, you pick your spot and you go hard. It's why Grillo has gone so hard as he's gone now. And Bryce Cannon going this hard. Think about it. We didn't even see how he got to the ring. Like, he just appeared. And it was like, wait, what? And he didn't come in his Exotic Youth gear. I mean, it's straight frat daddy. And there's a statement that he's making. And so, I don't know if Exotic Youth will be with him in a couple of weeks. They might be. They might show up at some point. If this becomes a numbers game, Kyle is in trouble. But I think Kyle Matthews is going to have to really think this one through. He has obviously taken on the best people. He has made this championship, without question, one of the most important championships in independent wrestling. It's certainly the fighting man's championship. With all of that said, Bryce Cannon could make life very, very difficult for a lot of people in a couple of weeks. And I'll just say, Diana, I know 5 years as the announcer of the year, the things you thought you'd never do. You may want to prepare.
Professional.
You're a professional. You're going to need all of your professionalism potentially, because in a couple of weeks' time, we could be announcing a brand new Jake the Snake Legacy champion. in
I
Bryce
need to
Cannon.
talk to Kyle. I need to see his feelings on this. Has anybody heard from Kyle? He's quiet. I need to hear his feelings.
Here's the thing. Kyle is his own regimen, right?
He is.
Kyle comes in, he does what he does, and then he goes out and he chills. He lives a quiet life. It works for him.
It does.
But I don't know that we've seen this version of Bryce Cannon before.
I have not.
So I don't know how you prepare for it.
Other than him hitting my buddy with a car, I have to say I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in Georgia. But at the same time, I'm just like I said, I got a bad taste in my mouth. I don't really know what I want to.
I will say on Kyle's behalf, the veteran that he is, the champion that he is, and the wrestler that he is, there probably at this point isn't anything he hasn't seen. But GB, it's like you said, injury does something to you that nothing else can. Bryce was on the shelf for a year. I was on the shelf for 534 days.
Wow.
I almost missed 2 full calendar years of wrestling.
Wow.
That doesn't change how you wrestle. It changes how you breathe. It changes how you wake up. It changes how everything you do, every little aspect of wrestling that you used to think you knew before is completely different now because you have no choice. You've seen what happens when the curtain closes, when there is an end. You see what happens. So you have to go somewhere that you didn't think was possible, whether it was during the recovery or during the injury itself. You have to go somewhere that will change you, and you have to be okay with that because the things you guys have known me for a long time. I've gone through a lot of different phases in wrestling. No more such than I am now and stomping people's heads in because I realize there is only one champion. There is only one leader of every promotion. There's only one guy. And if you don't have what it takes to be that guy, you have to do everything in your power, whether that's crossover, family's back, crossover, friends' backs, whatever it is. At the end of the day, that championship and being in that ring is what's most important to someone like Bryce and to someone like me. So I get where Bryce is coming from. It is a very hard scenario to sit and watch your friends. Because I know he had to sit and watch people in Exotic Youth go out and succeed. I had to watch my former tag partner in Hunter Knott go out and succeed. My friends who were on AEW, Carly Bravo, who was making a name of Ring of Honor, and all I was a guy who got hurt. I had to change everything. And Bryce, what we're seeing from him is he has changed everything because he cannot go back to where he was before. And I'll be damned if I think that's going to happen for him. I think we're about to see a hell of a run for Bryce. He's already on it right now. His comeback has been insane. He looks insane. I got to wrestle him at AWE. He's a completely different wrestler than the first time I shared the ring with him. Southern Honor, Georgia Wrestling, and wrestling as a whole should be on notice because Bryce Cannon, along with yours truly, is going to have himself a year.
I hope you do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hope you do too, but I also hope Kyle is on his A game on June 6th, and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I got to say about that.
That's all I gotta say about that.
But hey,
it is exciting though. No matter who it is, for somebody to come off an injury,
it will be
and really shine. It is exciting, no matter how dirty he can be. But it is.
It will be a phenomenal matchup, and it pains me to say that, but I know that
am looking forward.
I can see that.
But I know it's true. That's the thing. I know it's the truth. So, anyways, all right. Stat card SHW74. We touched on your match a little earlier, Grillo. Let's go ahead and get back to that real quick. Aaron Dallas's brother, Ethan Dallas, making his singles debut here at SHW74 against our guest here tonight, the Big Cannoli, Rosario Grillo. Grillo, you've already had a lot to say about this. If you want to, we'll give you the floor here as we get ready to close out the show. If you have any final words here for Ethan Dallas heading into SHW 74.
Ethan, this was not about you, and I am so very sorry that your brother has put you in an impossible spot. Your debut and your last match at Southern Honor is something very, very hard to prepare for. And again, the only person you can blame is your brother and his stupid Joe Dirt haircut. I gave him all the opportunity in the world to lay down as a thank you for everything I've done for all of the Gavones who have came from the same place that I have come from. I had built a legacy for all of you. And all I asked was a simple thank you so I can go on in the gauntlet and you attacked me. That wasn't my fault. That was yours. I told you, not me, you would have to deal with the repercussions of your actions if you didn't lay down. And unfortunately, here we are. Your brother put his hands on me. You put your hands on me. I didn't make this personal. I was just trying to win a title. You made it personal. You two Galvones made it personal when you touched me. And now I have the displeasure of stomping your little brother's head into that mat over and over and over again while you watch. And the only person that you could blame is yourself and your repercussions for your actions, Aaron. It's not my fault. It's yours. That's all I can say about that. Kid, nothing personal. This is your brother's fault. I did laugh for 10 minutes when I heard that I'm going to be wrestling you. So I guess I'll see you June 6th. I pray you don't show up.
Wow.
That's fair.
Well,
That's
there you
fair.
have it.
Thank you. That's all I can ask for is fair. That's all I can ask for
that's
is fair.
fair. You were attacked from behind the railing. It's fair.
Put his hands on me. Listen, this is what do I say? That's right. Blank check of the independents. You don't want to mess this check up by putting your greasy little hands on it. There's a lot of people who are trying to keep the lights on in their buildings by bringing this guy in. So don't put your hands on me and we won't have a problem. Let's just the Grillo away. If not, may got a call, a couple people. I know a couple guys got a Cadillac, maybe with the 2.5 body trunk. I don't know. We don't want to go there. We don't want to call in some favors. Okay. I have to get the flip phone out. We don't want to do that. But just remember, if we do, it wasn't my fault. It was yours.
Well, there you have it, folks. June 6th, SHW74, stat card on deck. A couple of huge title matches. Killer grudge match here with Grillo and
I had
Ethan
one
Dallas.
question, though.
Please.
I had
Yeah,
one
go ahead.
question. My question is, does spelling well run in the Dallas family?
I don't think so. Listen, I'm not the best speller myself, okay? I've never qualified for a couple spelling bees, but I'm pretty sure Aaron is Aaron, not Aaron.
Right. So it might be E than Dallas.
You're gonna give the
I have
Southern
thought
Honor
about
fans
that.
a new chant at the next show, GB.
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
E.T. Han.
E.T. Han.
E.T.
That
Han.
sounds right.
You.
E.T.
Listen,
Han.
The only cheer that they're going to be chanting in the same tune as Aaron is Go, Grillo. Go, Grillo. I know those Galvones may not be able to handle that, but
makes sense to me.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I can't wait. We're a couple of weeks out. Like I said, June 6th, SHW74 at the Action Building. Tickets on sale at the door the night of the show, 5 p.m. Doors open at 7, bell time at 8. Of course, we'll be live from 7 to 7:30 that night with the pre-show on SHW's Facebook page. We can't wait to see you there. Grillo, we can't wait to see you there and see you in action. Safe travels, my friend. And we got to go grab a good Italian meal one night when you get back in town. How about that?
Listen, we don't go grab Italian meals. We bring Italian meals. We grab it from our kitchens and bring it to other people's houses. That's what we do.
Then.
Someone asked me the other show, I think they called it Olive Garden. Is that a restaurant or something?
Never heard of it. I don't know.
I've never heard of that. I never heard it. Apparently they give out soup and breadsticks and salads for free. That sounds like they're just hurting their bottom line. The Grillo would never do that.
That's,
I don't know.
For shame. For
shame.
shame.
They probably break their pasta there. I could never go to some place like that.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I tell you what, we need to call up Carly Bravo. We'll go get some lasagna with some of that fresh ricotta. Huh?
Oh, yeah. See, Bravo knows. Bravo, that's good people's right there. That's family right there.
All right.
Well, I pray we never cross paths, but if we do, we do.
And you know what? Afterwards, we'll have a good Italian
We're still
meal.
family.
Still family.
We're
Families
still
fight.
family.
Families fight sometimes.
That's right.
Well, Grillo, I tell you what, this was an unexpected surprise here. We didn't know you were going to be jumping in, but we appreciate you joining us, man. Anything else for the fans or anything you want to say before we let you go?
I appreciate you guys for having me on. I appreciate all you do. Even though it was a little hot at the end of the show, I thought fingers were pointing my way. I cooled down a little bit, had myself a couple cappuccinos. I calmed down, even though that's not what they're supposed to do, but they calm me down. They don't bring me up. They calm me down. So we're all good. Nothing but love for the family. I appreciate each and every one of you for all of your hard work. Aaron, Ethan, please don't show up. I don't want to do what I have to do. Please don't show up. And hey, Big Cannoli shirts online, pro wrestling tees, $14.
Very nice.
That's a steal. That is
a
steal so good you could go to jail over it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Don't call me to bail you out, though.
He's got a T-shirt guy, this guy. Man.
I
got a guy. You know what I mean? I got a guy for every guy.
Got a guy.
Charlie Bravo, I got a guy.
I love it. Well, fans, we can't wait to see you June 6th, SHW74. But until we see you there, this has been
SHW.
And this is our wrestling.